Maggie Haberman and her co-author, New York Times reporter Jonathan Swan, whose new book is Regime Change Inside the Imperial Presidency of Donald Trump. Maggie, I have to begin with you. And what is going on with you and Donald Trump? The world wonders about this because we've seen for years these vicious, and that last one, I apologize for reading that one, but I had to set that stage for our audience. The viciousness of 3 days before you walk into the Oval Office. Did you already have the Oval Office appointment booked when he wrote that?
We did, and it was actually the first time that there had been one of those in some time. And thank you again for having us, Lawrence, and talking about the reporting for this book, which we really broke ourselves working on and are quite proud of. The only way that I can describe that action is a hip check, right, ahead of this interview. He was essentially trying to lay down a marker. Some people told us that people we had fact-checked different material with had gotten him spun up and in a heated mood about what he might get asked about. And so he was laying down a warning flag, and we've both been on the receiving end of attacks from him. He is, in my view, a subject I cover. We have spoken to him in the course of our daily reporting during news events and at either press conferences or on Air Force One or so forth, but we have actually spent very little time talking directly to him during this presidency, and that is a choice that we have made for a variety of reasons. But he has a specific fascination with the New York Times, and you know that. We've seen it over and over again, and I think just in his mind he associates me with it. But for whatever reason, he never totally closes the door with anybody. And for our purposes, we had fact-checking questions we needed to ask him, and we needed to give him an opportunity to respond to, but we did not want it to be a sort of open mic night in that kind of an interview where he was just going to pontificate. We asked a series of detailed questions, and he answered most of them.
So when you started at the New York Post, what was your first interaction with Donald Trump as a reporter?
Yeah, I've actually tried remembering my first one. I mean, the first clip that I have a byline on where he's quoted, I don't think it was me who spoke to him. I think there were three other names on the story, and it was after a Swiss Air plane crash. And he told whoever it was among us that had spoken to him that he had just gotten off the phone with one of the people who had been identified as having been killed in this crash, and I think it was a Swiss watchmaker or something, and he said that he was just about to start doing a product line with this person. I don't know whether that was true. It's obviously can't be verified. But he was in the ether. I was covering the rebuilding at the World Trade Center, and he did this plan about how he would unveiled something, how he was going to rebuild it exactly like it was. He did not own anything connected to the site, but he did want to be associated with it. When I started covering him most rigorously was in 2011, very end of 2010 and beginning of 2011, when he was looking at running for president. And that was the year that he started talking about birtherism in the middle of this proto-campaign or pseudo-campaign, and he watched his poll numbers take off. And the year later was the first time that he ever attacked me on Twitter. It's just what he does. So it's in a long, very similar ride, Lawrence. But I will tell you that I did a piece with Ben Smith when I was at Politico in 2011 about what Trump was doing and whether he was serious and whether he might run. And so much of that piece could have run at any point from 2011 until 2020. And one of the things that we talk about in this book is how much of this term has become the result of hubris, of his belief that he can get through any situation because he has before. But what you're seeing right now, particularly with Iran, is that he has a limited number.
Jonathan, where were you when you read that Truth Social thing on Friday about Maggie, and what did you feel when you were reading that?
He's done it so much that we were both expecting something. We knew something was going to come before the interview. There was no way. I mean, firstly,
is it at the point where you laugh at this? Is there any sting in it when you read it? I mean, the words are so ugly.
He's been calling me maggot since my last book came out. I mean, literally since, actually I haven't published yet. And so it's been like half a dozen times or something like that. I mean, you get a flurry of texts of people saying, did you see this? And yes, I saw it because I get alerts for...
and you get a lot of threats. You do. I mean, after I interviewed him in 2020, it was, an inundation. We don't talk about it publicly because you don't want to encourage people. But, we've had to deal with that.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.